Welcome to Alignment Adventures. This is a podcast where we explore what it means to live a fulfilling, aligning, and present life. I'm your host, Lindsay Tanner, and I am so grateful that you are here. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to another episode of Alignment Adventures. I'm so excited and so grateful to bring you another recorded internal guidance session. So I released my first one last week with Alyssa, and this week we have Kaylin. So Kaylin, thank you for volunteering to have your internal guidance session shared on the podcast. I'm so intrigued what you guys have thought of these so far. So if you don't mind, get out your phone as soon as you're done listening to this. Email me at hello@lindsay.tanner.com or message me on Instagram. I will see those messages eventually, even though I'm not on there right now. And tell me what you've been thinking about these sessions. Are you intrigued? Are you curious? Do you find it fascinating? What are your takeaways? Can you hear your internal guidance answering as well? Are you worried about finding the connection to your internal guidance? Any and all feedback, send it to me. I'm just so curious what you guys are thinking because I find these fascinating. I find it truly fascinating, the wisdom that you can get from yourself when you take the mind out of it, when we let the mind go rest somewhere else and we talk directly to your internal guidance, aka your intuition. So in this session, a few things I want to go over before we get into it. One, I am learning in this process that I need to make sure that the microphone is close to their mouth so you guys can clearly hear what they are saying. But once we get into it, I don't want to take them out of that space. So I just need to test that beforehand. I did my best to edit it with the editing software I have, so it's a little bit louder when you're hearing her talk from her internal guidance. But I hate when you have to turn it up and then turn it down. So I apologize if you have any problems with that. But hopefully you can hear her internal guidance. And a lot of times I just repeat what she says. So hopefully you can get the gist of what wisdom and what images and what words she's hearing from her internal guidance. Now, if you missed it, I explained the whole thing last week. So go back and listen to last week's episode. If you're just now tuning in and you're like, what's an internal guidance session? What is Lindsay talking about? Go to last week's episode with Alyssa. But in this week's episode, I just love it because it's so universal. And I know so many of you can relate to some of these issues that she gets guidance on. So we talk about how to deal with conflicts in relationships. She also releases some emotional weight, which we did with Alyssa as well. All of us, every single one of us has emotional weight. And when you're in this state, in pure awareness, you can feel it and release it. And it's so, so beautiful. She gets advice on trusting and grounding herself, some actual tangible practices that her internal guidance tells her to do more of. I love getting practical advice from an internal guidance, meditate more, or go outside, or do this. It's things that we can actually start implementing today. Her internal guidance reminds her of her strength and how to deal with people pleasing. And there's also a beautiful moment when she connects with her inner child and some beautiful inner child healing. You just never know what's going to come up in these. That's what I love. I try to hit on the major topics of relationships, health and wellness, and career, but we also just kind of let it flow and see what comes up and what your internal guidance wants to tell you. She does get some advice in her career. I'm not sure if we included all of it, but some of that did come through. And what I love the most, and this is true for all the internal guidances that I've connected to or helped other people connect to their own, is your internal guidance just loves you so much. It is sending you so much love. And when you can tap into that energy, Kaylin literally felt a hug from her internal guidance, and I felt that feeling before. It's so beautiful. How many of us struggle with self-love or self-connection? Or, a lot of times we're just hearing from our mind, and our mind is our biggest critic. It can't help it. It's what the mind has been trained to do, but to tune into a different frequency, one that is just sending you so much love and so much guidance. You can do no wrong in their eyes, but they are always lovingly guiding you. It's just priceless. It's indescribable. It's such a beautiful process. I just want everyone to experience this so badly. So if you're interested, tune into the end. We'll talk about all the different ways that you can tune into your internal guidance. But let's just get right into it. I know you guys are going to enjoy this session. Internal guidance. Is there anything you want Kaylin to know at the beginning of this call?
Love.
Love. Do you love Kaylin?
Hearing her picture of a swing set.
What is the swing set internal guidance?
Playful.
What does that mean, internal guidance? Do you want Kaylin to have more play in her life?
Lightness.
Internal guidance, does Kaylin have lightness in her life right now?
No.
Why not? Internal guidance, is there something blocking Kaylin from having more playfulness and lightness in her life?
Fighting.
Anxiety?
Fighting.
Oh, fighting. How do you see this fighting, internal guidance? Is the fighting necessary?
No.
How can Kaylin handle those situations where she's feeling frustrated or upset?
Light a candle.
So simple. That's all she needs to do is light a candle. Listen.
Focus back.
Focus back where, internal guidance?
Herself.
How can she do that? It's so easy for the mind to get caught up in its thoughts. Breathe and listen. Internal guidance, how do you see the fighting?
Justin.
What do you want Kaylin to know about fights with Justin? Breathe and listen.
Love is there.
Yeah. Always, even when they're upset? Yeah. How can she tune back into that love? What can she do, internal guidance?
Dance.
Dance. So when she's feeling a fight, she should just light a candle and dance. Internal guidance. Does Kaylin feel any heaviness around this topic of fighting in her body?
Yeah.
Where does she feel it?
Like a weight.
Where's the weight?
Her
arms.
Stomach.
Is it like something holding her down? Is that what it feels like? Yeah. Is it safe to go into that feeling right now, internal guidance?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to let you take the driver's seat on this. You are going to help Kaylin fully go into that feeling of that strap, that heaviness holding her back on her stomach and her arms. Now, when she feels this, she's going to need to release this energy either through breathing or crying or laughing or sneezing or yawning or dancing, whatever it may be. There's no judgment from any minds here. Let's just breathe and go into that feeling of heaviness on her arms and her chest. We're just allowing ourselves to fully feel this emotion that we felt somewhere along the way. And it just got stuck. It's just weather. It's not us. It doesn't define us. It's just something that got stuck. Breathing and feeling and allowing it to come through however it needs to. Are there any feelings or emotions that come up as she's feeling this heaviness, internal guidance? Anything it wants to share with her?
She's crying.
Yeah. Allow that to come through. Those are Tears just cleansing out that heaviness. Allow. Feel it as much as you can. It is safe to feel that heaviness in this moment. Keep going until it's almost gone, like juicing it like an orange. Internal guidance, how does that heaviness feel now?
Better.
Is it all the way gone?
Not yet.
Can we keep going or do we leave it for now?
They're talking later.
Okay. Thank you, internal guidance, for leading us through that. It's important for Kaylin to know where she got that heaviness. Does she need to know?
No.
Okay. Internal guidance. What do you want Kaylin to know about her relationships? Breathe and listen.
Filled.
Filled? What does that mean, internal guidance?
Build them back up.
Do her relationships fill her up?
Some of them.
Are there any that are draining her?
Mine keeps coming back.
Exhale those thoughts away. Is there any heaviness we're feeling on the topic of relationships, internal guidance?
No.
Okay. Is there anything else you want her to know when arguments or frustrations may come up with her or someone else?
Trust.
Trust what, internal guidance?
That they love you.
Even when it doesn't seem like they do, even when their minds are getting in the way, they love Kaylin. Breathe and listen.
It's a give and take.
How does that work, internal guidance? The give and the take. Can you elaborate?
Admit when you're wrong more.
That's hard for the mind.
It's what they need to hear.
It's what they need to hear.
Yeah.
Who's they? The other person?
She's quite stubborn.
Kaylin's quite stubborn.
Yeah.
Internal guidance, can you help her in those moments to show some humility, which I know she can, and admit when she's wrong? Can she tune into you?
Touch her hand to her heart.
Should she do that right now?
Grounding.
Internal guidance, does Kaylin need more grounding practices?
Yeah.
What can she do to ground herself?
Meditate. Walk outside.
Does it matter how long she meditates for, how she meditates, or should she just do it?
Just do it.
Yeah. What's the most important part of meditating for you, internal guidance?
Release control.
How can she do that? That's hard sometimes.
I'm getting a picture of someone pushing a rock.
What does that mean? Someone pushing a rock?
You're strong.
Does Kaylin realize how strong she is, internal guidance?
No.
Can you help her realize that and feel into that for a moment? Her true strength and resilience and power. Just allow her to feel that in her body, in every cell of her body. How strong she truly is.
I'm getting chills.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want her to know about releasing control? Maybe in any other part of her life, internal guidance? Are there any other areas in her life that she needs to release control?
Cats.
What about the cats?
They're kind.
Does Kaylin try to control the cats sometimes?
They pee everywhere.
Is that okay?
It's not her fault.
No. Is there anything she can do to prevent that internal guidance or just release control?
Release,
Mm.
accept, and love.
Yeah. Just love the cats.
Yeah.
It can be that simple. We don't have to control their every behavior, internal guidance. Is there anything else Kayla needs to know about her cats? Internal guidance?
No.
No. Just that they're here to be enjoyed. Their souls chose to be in this lifetime here with Kaylin. Beautiful. Doing a beautiful job of not saying anything when you don't hear anything. Can she tune into you when she maybe gets caught up in her mind and wants to control those situations?
Put your hand on your chest and breathe.
Mm, I love that. So simple. That's all she needs to do when she's feeling overwhelmed or unsure.
I'm always here.
Always.
Always.
Are you always loving Kaylin and guiding her?
She's my favorite.
I love that. Mm.
Feeling a hug.
Thank you, internal guidance. I love that. You communicate with her all the time.
She tries to listen. She
Well,
squashes it down.
mm, why does she squash it down? Is that her mind?
Afraid of judgment.
Judgment from who? Other people?
She's a bit of a people pleaser.
Mm. Lindsay's mind can relate to that. Is that something you can help her release? Being a people pleaser?
She's not that little girl who didn't
Mm.
stand up for herself.
Mm.
She's strong.
Internal guidance, can we show some love and strength and support to that precious, sweet little girl that maybe felt like she couldn't stand up for herself? Who was doing the best she could in that moment? Can we send some love to her and strength?
There's a hand reaching out for a girl in the corner.
Mm.
And she's standing.
Yeah. What does Kayla need to know about this little girl and things that she's taken from her childhood in terms of people pleasing?
She's worthy.
Yeah. Has she always been worthy and always will be worthy? Internal guidance. Yeah. Can we show her that in this moment?
The little girl's hugging herself.
Mm-hmm.
She's reaching her arms out.
Yeah. We send her love and worthiness and strength. Is this little girl always with Kaylin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is she the one that's afraid of not being liked or maybe being judged by other people?
Yeah.
Can we help that little girl release that fear? Can you show her that it's okay? It's okay to be her true, authentic self. It always was safe. Just other minds getting in the way and bringing out their own judgments. Can you let that little girl feel that love, that abundance of love that you've always had for her?
And light.
Is there anything else you want to tell that little girl?
There's a picture of a sunshine.
Yeah. What does that mean? Internal guidance. What does that represent?
Happiness.
Yeah. Is it safe for that little girl to feel that sunshine, to feel that happiness?
Yes.
Can Kaylin feel that happiness now?
There's a visual with the sunshine going.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kaylin has that sunshine in her life now.
Like a candle.
Beautiful.
Warmth and light.
Mm. Is Kaylin feeling that warmth and light right now? Internal guidance. Is there anything you want Kaylin to know about her own little girl in her life right now, her daughter, Alina?
Love.
Yeah.
The words just repeating itself.
Yeah. So much love there, isn't there?
It's so much she could burst. Spew happiness everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So beautiful. Internal guidance. Is there anything you want Kaylin to know about her career? Breathe and listen.
This isn't it.
Mm. Is that okay?
It's scary.
Yeah.
It doesn't serve the relationships that she has. Gets in the way of the happiness. Like a brick. Her strength goes to that.
Yeah. It's draining.
Getting a picture of me hugging a
Yeah.
possibilities.
Mm. Those are my favorite.
There's no rush.
Mm.
She can stick to the plan.
Yeah. Does she have a plan, internal guidance?
2 years.
Well, what does she do about this job in the meantime that's draining her? Breathe and listen.
It's weighing her down.
Yeah. Where does she feel tightness or heaviness right now? Does she feel that in her body?
Heart in her chest.
Okay, let's go into that feeling. What does it feel like? Is it a heavy weight? Is it a light weight? Be as descriptive as you can.
It's like she takes out the heart and offers it up
Mm.
to others.
Yeah. What does that feel like, internal guidance? Can you guide her into that? What is that feeling with that?
She's got to put it back in her own chest.
Yeah, can you help her do that, internal guidance? Is it safe? Is it safe to not offer her heart to everyone else and put it back in her own chest? Why does she feel like she has to offer her heart, internal guidance?
She's protecting them.
Protecting who?
She feels like she has to protect the people.
Yeah, does she? Is that her responsibility, internal guidance?
She holds up the shield. There's a Captain America shield.
Mm. It's probably really heavy and very exhausting. Does she need to hold up that shield for everyone else?
Not everything's so bad. We don't have to bring the shield every time.
What can she do instead, internal guidance?
Walk together. Trust.
Can she do that for the next 2 years in this job, internal guidance?
No.
No. What else can she do? Will she know when it's time to take other action?
Yeah.
How will she know?
She'll feel it.
Yeah. Does she know that feeling? You'll communicate it with her?
Enough will be enough.
Yeah.
And then it'll be safe to move.
There's no rush for this internal guidance. She'll know when it's time.
There's no rush. We'll get through it.
What can she do when she feels like she's running out of time or she needs to make a decision or she's scared about making a decision?
Touch into your chest.
Is there anything else you want Kaylin to know in this time and space, internal guidance?
The word love is just repeating.
Love. Is that what she is at her core? Internal guidance, love.
Yeah.
Is that what we all are? We just forget.
I'm always here.
Oh, you're always here. Beautiful. Always, always with Kaylin.
Her mom trusts her. She knows she wouldn't want somebody right there telling her what to do.
Yeah. Beautiful.
She taught her to be strong-willed, and now she
Is Kaylin's mom's spirit always with her?
yes.
She's guiding her as well.
Light a candle. Be still.
Mm.
Set the intention.
Mm.
Back to the breath. Let the mind flow.
Is it okay for the mind to come back in?
Yeah.
Kaylin's got a powerful mind, doesn't she?
Stubborn.
Is there anything else you'd like to leave Kaylin with before we bring her back into this time and space?
No.
Thank you, internal guidance. Again, Kaylin, thank you so much for allowing us to share this with my audience. Again, I'm so intrigued to hear what you guys think of this. So when you're done, get out your phone. Let me know your feedback. What are you thinking of these sessions? So I always like to send a survey after people have internal guidance sessions to let them process and share from their mind what they thought of the whole experience. So I always ask, what is one word you could use to describe it? And Kaylin said freeing. And then her other feedback was, thank you so much for guiding me. I felt free to speak without judgment, free to let anything and everything wash over me, knowing I was in amazing hands. And then she also said, my internal guidance session felt transcendent. I felt like I was truly in an altered state of body and mind where it was free to speak and feel and be. Lindsay does such a good job of creating a judgment-free space. It really let my internal guidance speak. I was hesitant in the beginning before we started, but she talked me through all the possibilities and prepared me for what to do. It was such a great experience. I think anyone could benefit from it, especially if you have something big weighing on you. What I take away from this feedback, Kaylin, again, thank you for sharing your feedback, is we don't allow ourselves to be in a space that is judgment-free, because you know what's always judging us is our mind. Our mind is the biggest judger of all, and we're always in our mind, usually for most of the time, unless you're meditating or doing this practice on your own. So I love gifting people that space that is judgment-free. My mind isn't judging you. Your internal guidance isn't judging you. It's loving you. And it's just so freeing to be in that space. So if you're interested, I will leave the link in the show notes to book your own one-on-one internal guidance session where I guide you into this state. I tell you how to do the whole thing. I'm there with you. I ask the questions. Everyone has this connection. So what I ask you is to tune into your internal guidance. Do you have a nudge to do this? Do you have a nudge to have a session? If you do, I encourage you to follow that nudge and make sure you get the go-ahead from your internal guidance first, because sometimes it's just not the right time and space for people, and I honor that. So tune into yourself. Does this feel right for you? So I have the one-on-one internal guidance sessions that you can do. I have a bundle of sessions if you want to do more than one, and that's at a discounted price. I have my self-paced mini course, Discover Your Internal Guidance, that you can do if that's something that interests you, because I know we all enjoy different modalities and different ways of learning things. And I also have my YouTube video where I explain this process if you want to try it on your own first. All of that is linked as always. Reach out to me through email or Instagram if you have questions. I'll be checking Instagram in the coming weeks. I have an episode on Monday coming out about my social media detox. So excited to share that with you guys and all the revelations and takeaways I've had from that. But please share this episode with anyone that you think would be interested in connecting with their internal guidance or could benefit from this episode. I have so much gratitude when you guys share this with people around you and share this podcast. It really helps my mission of helping as many people as possible live their most aligning life and connect to their internal guidance. The more and more people we get to tune into this energy, think of what kind of world we're going to have if people are connecting with their internal guidance and living from their internal guidance rather than their mind all the time. Like, what a beautiful place we could create. So I'm just so grateful for those of you that are here, you're listening, you're tuning in and sharing it with anyone that you think needs to hear this message. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, because we have more internal guidance sessions coming out. I've been releasing 2 episodes a week, and that feels really aligning. We'll see what flows. But of course, I'm sending so much love, so much gratitude, all the high vibes, and I will see you in the next episode of Alignment Adventures.